Whether you've just learned about YouTube automation, are in the process of starting your channel, or already have one, you probably know how important it is being in the right niche. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the most popular and not so popular YouTube automation niches that you can start in 2024, and I'm going to rank them based on performance and the chance that you have to make money with them. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is Razvan Paraschiv. I've been doing YouTube automation for the last 40 years, got hundreds of thousands of millions of subscribers, as you can see behind me, and I recently crossed $1 million in earnings with this business model. So with that being said, let's go to the video. First, I want to talk about the Bodycam niche. And if you're new to the space and if you haven't heard about this before, this is a great and very lucrative niche that has been making people millions of dollars for the last 1 to 2 years. But although it's not brand new and although it's not just appeared on the market, I believe it still has a lot of potential. Example channels here are Bodycam Watch, Inspector Ray, and Courtroom Consequences. Now, while I personally never had a channel in the Bodycam niche, I had multiple students in my community Grow Channels Accelerator that started and scaled these Bodycam channels up to $10, $20, even $50,000 per month, all usually within the first 6 months. So that goes to say that if you know what you're doing, you can make a lot of money with this niche eventually in a short period of time. Obviously, I know that sounds like a lot of money, especially if you work a 9-to-5 job and you want to create an additional stream of income. But because, as I said in the beginning, this is not really a new niche and most of the ideas have kind of already been made, you need to be a little bit creative. You need to think a little bit outside the box. You cannot just copy other channels' videos like Inspector Ray, as I showed you, for example, earlier. You cannot just go copy their videos, add a little bit to them, and make $10, $20, $40,000 per month. No, you need to be a little bit creative. You need to think a little bit outside the box, do your research, do extra research, put in a little bit of work. But eventually, again, if you do all these things, I believe this niche still has potential. And when you look at the cost of getting into it, the reason why I believe it's still lucrative is because this is not very expensive, right? Although the majority of people now in the space make longer videos, so the classic when we refer to YouTube automation is around 10 minutes. In this niche, people already make 18, 20, sometimes even 40-minute videos, but I still believe that if you want to get in and if you want to have a good entry, you can get the videos done for less than $100 each. So now, for all these reasons that I just mentioned here, I want to rank the Bodycam niche at the A level, right? Where S is the best, A is the second best. I think that, again, because there's a little bit of competition in there, there's a couple channels that made millions of dollars already. This is not an S, but an A, which is still pretty good. If you're passionate about this, you might want to look into it. Next, let's talk about something that you might not think it's even possible with YouTube automation if you're not already in the space, and that is political channels, especially channels like I have right here, The Vote or Election Time. I found those very interesting. The niche is relatively new with the space, and there aren't a bunch of channels that have already capitalized on this opportunity. However, it is still a little bit tricky. It's still a little bit sensitive, as I like to call it, for two main reasons. Number one, since there is an upcoming election in the US, there is a lot of buzz around the presidential candidates, right? There is a lot of buzz around them, there's a lot of news, and everything that they do or that they say becomes a big headline, which creates a lot of attention, creates a lot of views, and ultimately creates a lot of money for these channels. Now, the reason why I say it's sensitive is because once the election is final, once we know who's going to be the next president of the United States, I'm not sure how much traction these channels are going to get and ultimately how much money they're going to make. So take that with a grain of salt. And number two, since this is a new niche, as I said, I have seen over the last couple of months a couple channels that were getting shut down or getting demonetized and then reinstated, most likely for violating the YouTube policies. Now, I don't know exactly what policies were they violating or why they were being taken down, but probably because, again, politics is a pretty sensitive topic on media in general, and especially when it comes to YouTube. So again, those are the kind of two shortcomings. However, despite those two shortcomings, the niche is still very solid, and here's why. If you're already someone who watches the news, reads newspapers, or gets constant information in this topic, in politics or in news, what's going on in America, then this is the perfect niche for you because there aren't a lot of people like you. Most of the people that when they start a YouTube automation channel, they look at the stuff that they're passionate about. They go with sports, with celebrities, with history, with tech, whatever. But not a lot of of people think about the news side of things, right? Not a lot of people say, oh, I'm really passionate about the news, or I really like watching the news. Now, if you are that person, I think there is a gap in the market which creates an opportunity. There isn't a lot of people who are passionate. There isn't a lot of people in the space right now who know what they're doing, who are passionate about a subject, and who can put a little bit of an edge to it. So I think that creates a great opportunity if you are that person. I think there's low competition, and that's one of the reasons why I like this niche. Now, to sum this even further, at the first glance, the videos don't seem expensive, meaning the production cost isn't very high. I think some of those videos can easily be done for $50, $60, maybe $70. Again, this is not at the first shot. If you go in Fiverr or Upwork, you are probably going to find a higher cost. But again, if you put in your time and if you know what you're doing, $50 to $70 is the perfect range for these videos. However, if you look a little bit closer to channels like, as I said earlier, The Vote, Election Time, and there's a couple more, some of these channels post daily videos, which means a lot of volume, and some of them post even 2 or 3 videos per day. So unless you want to invest $1,000, $1,500, maybe even $2,000 per month into this niche or into YouTube automation, I wouldn't really recommend this. But going back to it, if you're passionate about a subject and if you have this investment budget, I think this is going to be the perfect opportunity, because the topic and the higher investment that requires on a monthly basis are keeping the majority of the people away, creating the perfect opportunity for the right person. So with all of that being said, I'm gonna rank this one as the B. Now, when I'm making these ratings, I'm thinking about the majority of people. I'm thinking about the majority of you, right? So how would I rank these for the performance and for the chances of making money when I'm thinking the majority of people? Now, again, politics, I would rank it as a B, but for the right person, as I described earlier, this can definitely be an S. Like, this is a channel that I would personally start, not because I'm necessarily passionate about it, but I definitely like watching the news from time to time, and I like reading newspapers. I like seeing what's going on with the politics there, and I fortunately have the budget, so if that's you, this would be an S, but for the majority of people, this would be a B. And by the way, let me know in the comments below if you like my emojis that I've chosen for this video. I'm curious to see if you are gonna guess what the superhero, the coin, the popcorn, the tan, the plane, and the old TV are gonna be, what niches they're gonna represent. Let me know in the comments below, and let's go to the next one. Another interesting niche, and not so popular, these are my favorite, as you'll see in this video, that you guys didn't know existed probably, is air crash investigations, right? We have channels like WingX, Green Dot Aviation, and also air crash investigation. Those are really interesting. So if you play their videos, you will see that basically what they're doing, they're taking the most popular, most controversial, or I'm not really sure what system they use for soldering, but they look at plane crashes and they basically make an investigation around them. And not only that, but with exceptional video editing and with something that takes quite a little bit of money to create, they basically are able to simulate the flight and to show us exactly what was happening. Why did the crash happen? Was it the pilot? Was it the meteo conditions? Was it the tower? What was it that happened for the plane to crash? And not only that, but they basically mimic in real time, as far as I've seen, what happened with the plane. It go down, it went up, it went into the water, which is really exciting. Now, what that means, a higher cost of production, right? So a normal editor won't be able to do that, because this is probably built in a flight simulator or in any other program like that. So I don't think it's gonna be our typical $50, $60 or maybe even $100, but I would be looking at $200, $250, maybe $300 to put together a video like this. However, compared to the news niche that we talked earlier, because there is a lot of research involved, even for the script writing, you need to find exactly what happened. You cannot really put false information, right? Or say that a plane crashed for one reason and then in reality it crashed for another reason. That video will not work, and you don't want to spread misinformation, especially around topics like that. So again, there is a lot of work and a lot of research that goes behind a script. There's a lot of work and a lot of research that goes behind a video, and because of that, these channels are not posting a lot of videos. Some of them are posting one a week, maybe once even every 2 weeks, and maybe some of them are posting 2 videos a week. With that being said, the volume and the cost kind of balances out, right? So I would say with $1,000, maybe $1,500 per month, you will be able to run a channel like this one if this is something of interest. One more thing I want to mention also around the production is that you need to factor in that it's not going to be a walk in the park or as easy as usually to find the people for this job. If with a normal channel you can probably put together in less than a week if you're really on it, or let's say 2 weeks if you don't get any help, if you really take your time and if you're learning everything from scratch, I would say just factor in a little bit more time, a couple of extra days to find this level of talent if you want to go from top-notch talent from the beginning. But not to say, I see that I kind of lowered my voice and I went with a negative note. I still like this niche. I still think that if you like this, if you are curious about these investigations, if you like planes, if you like flying, and all that good stuff, that still can be a good niche for a channel that, let's say, makes $10,000 per month. If you want to make more, $20, $30, $40, $50,000 per month, then I don't really think this is your niche. But if you want to get into this niche and you want to make you want to have a channel that makes $5,000 to $10,000 per month, then this is definitely a good niche. I would approve it. So when it comes to ranking, I will also give this a B, because also there's not a lot of competition. The videos are a little bit hard to make. Again, for the right person, this would probably be an A, but for everybody watching right now, this is still a decent opportunity. It gets the B level ranking. Something that recently caught my attention and I really like it at first glance, I even shared it with my private community, Grow Channels Accelerator, is the American nostalgia niche, if you want to talk about that, right? Channels like Hollywood Inside the 1960s, The Ultimate Expedition, and Top Exploration. Now, quick story time behind this. When I first started YouTube automation, guys, 4 years ago, almost everybody in a space had a celebrity channel. Like literally almost everybody. When I would ask people, oh, what niche are you in? What are you making videos about? They would all say celebrities, 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 celebrities. I was like, what's going on with celebrities? Why is everybody starting a celebrity channel? And for the longest time ever, I didn't want to go into celebrities because I thought everybody was there. Eventually, I had a channel. It was moderately successful. It was making $2,000 to $3,000 per month. Nothing really crazy, because I wasn't passionate about watching up and catching the drama, right? As soon as something happens, as soon as somebody does something that's not necessarily polite or not necessarily good, you want to be the first one to cover it and make a video about it, right? So you need to stay on top of things. You need to be very fast. However, with this niche, with American nostalgia, basically covering previous celebrities or celebrities that are no longer in fame but once were, you basically remove that element. You don't need to catch up with everything that they're doing and everything that's happening in the day-to-day, because the channels aren't necessarily about what's happening now, but about what once happened. So this makes this niche very attractive for somebody like me. Quick side note here, I don't want to discount the niche of celebrities. So if you're passionate about catching up with the Kardashians, if you're passionate about what's going on in Hollywood, if you want to go to Hollywood, then I think celebrities is still a great niche. It's just not for me. And going back to this, going back to American nostalgia, one more advantage that I think this niche has, because those celebrities are, to put it bluntly, old now, the audience is also older. So it's basically people that either grew up with these celebrities or are of the same age, which means most likely they're 50, 60, maybe even 70 years old right now, which an older audience, especially an American older audience, will give you a higher RPM, meaning YouTube will pay you more for those views. I'm expecting $7, $8, maybe even $10, depending on the topics and what you're looking at, per 1,000 views. So the RPM being high and you're not needing to catching up with the trends, I think this presents a very good opportunity. And the cherry on top with this niche, after watching multiple of these videos, I don't think the production cost is gonna be high. I think videos can be done for $60, $70, maybe $100 tops. So for all the reasons that I mentioned, the American nostalgia or the old celebrities gets the S level. Now I use this old TV basically to kind of drive the point home. I hope you guys see the analogy there. Oh, and one more thing I want to add here. For some reason, this niche flew under the radar for a very long time, because you can also look up a channel called Factsverse that has been around for a very long time, made millions of dollars making exactly this type of content. I think I covered them in a previous video. You might go want to watch that as well. But again, if you're passionate about this stuff, then I would definitely go here. The next niche I want to talk about in this video is crypto. I'm getting a lot of questions about this on my Instagram, Razvan PB, even inside the community, and even I have been getting some YouTube comments here on the channel. So thank you so much, guys, for all the engagement about whether or not crypto is a good niche or no. Now, depending on when you're watching this video, I'm filming it in the beginning of August. Recently, there was a pretty significant crash, and a lot of people are buzzing around crypto, right? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is a lot of speculation in the space, basically, right? So a lot of people assume that since a lot of people are talking about it, it might also be a good niche for YouTube automation, because usually when there's a lot of attention going into something, whether it's stocks, whether it's politics, whether it's economy, there's also a great opportunity to make money with faceless YouTube videos. But after doing my research, and I spent good hours looking into this, not only that I couldn't find a lot of successful YouTube automation channels, right? So a lot of faceless channels that are making making this type of content that we are talking about with the intention of making money from AdSense, but I barely could find any faceless channels that are still actively posting about crypto. Even one of the best faceless crypto channels, in my opinion, Whiteboard Crypto, hasn't been posting so regularly. They haven't been making as much money because they haven't gotten views, which tells me that the interest for crypto is still low when it comes to faceless YouTube automation channels. Even more, if you've been following me for a while, you know that I also had a crypto channel, which I actually turned into a mini case study here on my YouTube channel. You can go watch that video. You can see exactly what happened. I made a little bit of money, I think $6,000-8,000, but then eventually the project flopped for various reasons. But in general, I don't necessarily think crypto it's a good niche, because the nature of the term, it's pretty speculative, right? People want to see what coin to buy, people want to see what coin to sell, when to buy, when to sell, all that good stuff, and they would most likely go for this type of advice or go for this type of information to a person, to somebody that they deem as an expert, not to a faceless YouTube channel, a cheap production behind the camera, basically, that doesn't really give us the trustworthiness to trust what they say, basically, right? So for all of these reasons, I definitely wouldn't go into crypto. I wouldn't recommend you guys start a crypto YouTube automation channel either, and I'm gonna rank it at the D level, which is the worst level in this video. Now let's cover movies and TV shows, and this is also a niche that has been around for a very, very long time, and to the nature of it, I think it will always be around, which presents an opportunity. I think that the best channels when it comes to this category are niche channels, meaning channels that talk about only one movie, one show, or maybe two shows, like Film Traveler, Film Insight, or Discover, right? The example channels pretty much cover Hell's Kitchen, MasterChef, and Oak Island. Pretty much any big show or any big movie that there is out there, there can be a niche for it. There can be at least 1 to 2 channels, 1 to 2 YouTube automation channels that make content about that and make good amounts of money on YouTube. When I say good amounts of money, I think this is a great opportunity if you want a normal channel, classic, making $5,000 to $10,000 per month while not investing a bunch of money. I think that because the nature of the production, the information is widely available online and pretty much everybody can find what happened or what are the details, the ins and outs of the shows, the cost of production is classic, $50, $60, $70 in that range, and you also don't need to post that much, at least in the beginning stages. One more thing that I want to add here before we go with the ranking, which you'll see it's pretty high, I would highly recommend that you guys are cautious with the people that you hire, because since the niche has been around for a very long time, there will be a lot of freelancers, especially if you go to Upwork or Fiverr, where I highly recommend you go, to hire these people. You'll see that there's a lot of people who say they have experience, who say they've worked for one of these channels, which they might have because the niche has been around for years and years and years. But what we're interested in finding the good people, right? So not only that they can make it for a relatively low cost, $50, $60, $70, but that have experience working for successful channels right now, not for successful channels 3 years ago or 4 years ago or all that good stuff, right? So with that being said, I will rank the movies and TV shows as an A, right? I said it's high. It's not going to be the highest one, it's not going to be an S, but it's going to be an A. The reason why it's not an S is because I think you need to be pretty good. You need to understand virality, you need to understand clickbait to get a lot of views and to make $10,000, $20,000 per month in this niche. But if you do that, I think it's gonna be an amazing opportunity. Let's talk about the top 10 niche. I still get questions about this one, and probably by the nature of it, you understand what type of videos I'm talking about. I'm talking about list videos, like top 10 cars, top 10 watches, top 10 mentions, top 10 as niche as you want to go. And I think one of the most representative channels here is called Top 5s. It's not top 10, it's top 5s, but I think you get the point, right? So again, they cover everything from castles to discoveries on ice and underwater technologies. Can literally be everything. While I really have a lot of respect and admiration for this niche, and I don't know, it puts a smile on my face every time I see these types of channels, because I think this was the first type of a YouTube automation channel, of a faceless YouTube channel that was allowing regular people like you and me to make money on YouTube. I think this is how we started, right? Long time ago, 7, 8, 10 years ago. I think the first videos were like this, very general, very broad, but in the same time, when we are looking at it today, I think that for the same reason, it's not necessarily the best opportunity. And when I say that, I mean, and I'm referring to the fact that because it's been around for 8 years, maybe 10 years, maybe even more, right? Maybe since YouTube was around, I think most of the videos have been made, right? Like, people are not so interested anymore in watching like, oh, top 10 most expensive houses in the world, or top 10 richest people in the world. Those are already kind of known topics, and they've been done over and over and over again. However, you can still make money. You can still use this and you can still make money with it if you just do it differently, if you just switch things a little bit. What I mean by that is that instead of having a generalist channel, right, instead of having a channel where you talk about everything, you niche it down, because people, if they want to see the most interesting facts or like at least videos in sports, they would go to a channel that talks very, very good about sports. If they want to see the top 10 when it comes to celebrities, they'll go to a celebrity channel. If they want to see luxury, they go to a luxury channel, right? So they've kind of divided, they've sub-niched, and I think this continues, right? You know the saying, the riches are in the niches. This is exactly what's happening, and what I think will continue to happen with YouTube automation as well. We will continue to niche down further and further and further, and instead of having a all-you-can-eat buffet and all-you-can-eat restaurant where you can choose everything, like continental breakfast, for example, you can choose and have a little bit of everything. You want to go to a restaurant that has the best burgers, or to a restaurant that has the best pizza or the best sushi if you want to eat that specific thing. Same with YouTube automation channels. I highly recommend that you niche it down, and if you want to make this type of videos, which by the way don't have a very high cost of production, can be done for $50 to $60, tops $100, this is kind of the average range. You niche it down and you go look at another niche, you niche it further if you want to have a good chance of success at making $3, $5, $10,000 per month. So for all of these reasons, when it comes to the top 10 niche, like as it stands, making least general videos, I won't rank this as a D because I've still seen some channels making a little bit of money, but it will get a C, right? Not the biggest fan right now. Maybe in the future it will come back, I don't know. And the last niche that I want to cover and rank in today's video, by the way, let me know in the comments if you want me to rank more niches. There's plenty more. I have plenty more ideas. So let me know in the comments if you'd like to see more videos like this one, is anime recaps. Now, if that sounds strange or foreign to you, don't worry, it sounded to me as well a couple months back when one of my students who was actually making $3,000 to $4,000 per month with his channel in our community showed me this niche. Right here we have channels like Annie Capped, Storyline Anime, and Annie Bro Reborn. The list goes on. There's plenty of these channels, and what they do is kind of the title of the niche says, or the headline says, they basically look at anime movies or anime shows, I'm not really sure what they're called, or series, I think that's best, and they recap them in short YouTube videos or in a collection in more YouTube videos, basically recalling what's happening without giving away the title. Now, I know it's a little bit hard to understand if you just listen to me, but I would highly recommend you go on one of these channels. Again, Annie Cap, Storyline Anime, Annie Bro Reborn. Look at the videos and you'll pretty much get a sense of what's happening there, which is not hard at all. Actually, I think this is a good opportunity for people who don't have a lot of budget to go into, because the cost of production is pretty low. I would say videos can be done for as low as $35 to $40 if you're really resourceful, but let's say $50, I would say it's a good one out there. Now, one caveat here is that the majority of these channels, if you look especially at the successful ones, especially at the big ones, you will see that they aren't making our classical 10, 12, let's say 15-minute videos, but are looking at 20, 40, sometimes even 1 hour long videos, which might increase the cost a little bit. While most of you watching this video right now aren't maybe interested in anime recaps or in animes in general, and you might think they are for kids, after doing my research, that couldn't be farther from the truth. The anime fan base is huge, and it's not kids. Most of the people who are interested in this are 20, 30, even 40 and 50-year-old, and they have a huge fan base all around the world. So while not a lot of people are paying attention to this, there is definitely a huge fan base out there that I think is looking forward to more and more of these videos to be created. So for the right person, I think this can be a great opportunity for a channel. I think the RPM, meaning how much money you can make per 1,000 views, is pretty low. I don't think you are looking at an 8 or a 10, but more likely on the lower end, a 2, a 3, or a 4, maybe a 5. So for all these reasons, kind of combining them together, I will rank the anime recap niche today at the B level, right in the middle. I would say it's not bad. I don't think it's bad, but I'm not passionate about it. I don't see a lot of opportunity how you can add things to it. But again, this is just because my knowledge is pretty limited. I'm not a big fan of this, but for the right person, this can go up in ranking and it can be a great niche for the YouTube channel. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. If you're interested in adding an additional stream of income on the side of your 9-to-5 job or on the side of your small business, we might be able to help. If you go go in the description of this video, the first link. It's a free YouTube automation training that shows you exactly how I started in this business model, how I got all these plaques behind me, how I made $1 million with it, and how you can do the same. At the end of it, you'll have an opportunity to move forward and work with us if that's something that you want to do. If not, completely fine. Keep watching the videos, keep getting the value, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again.